Hey guys, what's up? It's Grade. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been playing PoE 1 for quite some time now. I wanted to talk about how I got my chest piece. It's a +1 number of Spectre's chest piece, right? And that mod only comes from gear that's found in Delve. So if you want that mod on a chest piece, you have to get those chest pieces and you have to recombine it into the chest piece of your choice. So I'm playing a Lightning Necromancer BAMA build, and this is my chest piece right here. Right, it's +1 maximum number of Spectres with some physical damage reduction, T1 armor and evasion, and then a crafted armor and evasion mod on it. It's got that regenerate life on it. I have to re-roll that because that's stopping me from getting the life mastery. But anyway, right, this chest piece, if you look at it and you search for maximum number of Spectres with T1 armor and evasion, it's already 4 divines. And I promise you, I didn't even pay half, or in crafting to make this chest piece. You could easily do something like this for 5 divines. Better than these ones right here. And the next one goes up to 75. So we're going to cover that today. It's going to be pretty long. Use the timestamps. I'm going to cover where to buy your bases, going on PoEDB and looking at, how do you even find the highest tier base for your class for new players. This is mostly for new players because there's a lot of navigating you got to figure out on your own. And then recombination too is super weird, right? Especially if you've never used it before. There's a lot to go over. It's really different from what it used to be. Okay, so let's go over the crafting plan. So I'm going to flashbang you in 3, 2, 1. Boom, there's 1. Boom, there's 2. Okay, so what we're looking at is the recombination window, right? And the plan is to get 2 tier 1 prefixes, or the 2 prefixes that we want, and then to use eldritch currency to manipulate our suffixes. And then you could either craft the 3rd prefix, or you could exalt slam, or do whatever you want with it, right? So I'm going to start off with a scenario that we don't want to have first. Right, so here's the recom window, A and B armor types. So they're the same base type, right? Conquest, Lamellar. And the reason that this is a problem is because, for one, +1 number of Spectres on this as an isolated prefix is really expensive. It's a lot. And that's another thing that I should mention, is that if you see these armor types, they only have 1 mod, and they're both prefixes. The reasoning for that is that it cuts down on the types of outcomes that you could have, right? Because when you recombine and you hit this, I forgot what it says. It's like, random recombine or unknown recombine or something. When you click on that, the chance for success is 100%, right? And here's the base cost of dust. Dust, you get that from your enchanters in King's March. You give them gear and they disenchant it and they turn it into dust. I'll leave a link in the description for an Excel spreadsheet that's got all the different dust outcomes for different type of gear that you can buy, and you could feed them to it. Here's the other reason that you don't want to have the same base type, right? Is because if it goes to, after this 50-50 shot, when you hit recombine, if it goes to armor B, there's a 1 in 3, right? If it gets B1, this mod, our number 1 mod here, we don't want that. If it goes 50-50 chance for armor A, you get A1, we also don't want that. But we're safe with each armor type if we get +1 number of Spectres. That's good, because that basically means we'll have this armor again, and then we could reroll again for another try. And it's really easy to buy any T1 armor base. You can either go on TFT, buy it in bulk, or you can just go on trade, buy any rare, any quality for as low as you can get it, hit it with the scour, and then transmute, and then alteration slam until you get your T1, and then try it again. There's multiple strategies to alteration slam. You can fill up a whole tab with armors and then just mouse over alteration slam each one with a regex, so that way it lights up, right? Shout out to the farmer, that's pretty tight. Makes good videos, you should go follow him. Anyway, so here, if you look at the outcome that we want, it's A1 and 2. And then there's B1 and 2, which is a 1 in 3, right? It's kind of iffy. I don't like doing this because every time this has happened, I get this armor type from a failed craft. And every time I do this again, there's a really high probability you'll end up with A1 or B1, right? And it happens more often than you'd think. So ideally, this is the strat that I like to use. All right, if anyone also has any suggestions, to make this better, please feel free to leave it down in the comments to help everyone out. So what I like to do is, for my second base type that has the expensive mod on it, I buy this mod, right? We'll go into that, how to shop for it, +1 number of Spectres on a completely different attribute base type. So this is a pure strength armor type, right? And then this is a strength dex hybrid. So if you look at the outcomes for this, B1 cannot exist because you cannot have this armor an evasion hybrid on a pure strength armor type. So this outcome doesn't exist, and neither does B1 and 2. That doesn't exist either. So right off the bat on your 50-50 choice, if it picks the wrong base type, you immediately get a free reroll. You don't have to worry about this scenario where B1 not happening. Now on the flip side, you don't get the checkmark too, but it's also not as expensive whatsoever. These base type prices for +1 number of specters can range anywhere from 10 chaos, like this one. The strength one was 10 chaos, up to about 150 chaos, right? And then the other one, if you get it on a T1 base that you're using, it can go into like 2 divines, 7 divines. It can get really pricey. But if you look at this, we basically have basically like a 1 in 4, right? If we get armor A, we either get a wrong answer and we're screwed, or we get this A2 and then we roll into this scenario, or we win and we get A1 and 2, right? This is what we want. And this is how I've been using the recom to get my 2 prefixes and then moving into suffix slamming with the eldritch currency, which is like my preferred method of recombination. And with this strategy too, if you get the second armor type, your armor B, and you get B2, right? That immediately means you get to try this again. So boom, you'll get it a lot. You'll end up with this one, and then you'll just make your T1 armor craft again through alterations, and then try this again. And every time the 50-50 chance fails and you take this armor type or your other base type, you just try this again and you get another 1 in 3. You keep getting 1 in 3s, right? And it saves your really expensive mod, which is the best part. That is the best part. It saves this expensive mod. And you'll save a lot of currency doing that. Okay, so let's move into actually looking for gear. So let's make our bases. First, we got to go over here. This is PoE and you need to find out what is your highest tier chest, right? For your class. So for me, because I'm strength and dexterity hybrid, we'll click on items, right? This window will pop up. You'll go to armor, go to body armors, go to regular body armors right here. And then these are all like this. These are strength. Next one is evasion. I'm going to go all the way down to hybrid, which is this one, right? This is strength and dex. And then keep going. Here's the next tier, strength and int. So this is the last one. Chaos lamellar is what I want, right? So now that I know chaos lamellar is what I want to look for, I need to look at what level of eye level that I need to have. So you'll go to modifiers, go to body armors again, strength and dex. Where is it? Right here. And then all the modifiers that I want, right? These are the modifiers, your prefixes on this side, suffixes on this side. My window's half screen, right? So all I'm doing is I'm looking at the mods that I want. So increase armor and evasion. I click on it and it tells me what eye level to roll the highest tier. It needs to be level 86 if I want T1 hybrid percentage. For flat, level 79 is the highest that I would need. But then if I want spell suppression, max range, I need at least level 86. Same thing if I plan to roll physical damage reduction, I need level 86. So now that we know that, we go into the trade, right? I have some chaos lamellars already looked up. Where is the item filters for level? Weapon filters, armor filters. I think it's under miscellaneous. Yep, item level. The minimum level I want, 86. Now we don't care. Right, see, 4, 5. Let's see if we can get a level 86. Also, another thing too is, well, we could just change the roll. Never mind. Hold on. We'll just get whatever's the cheapest. Then we'll change. We can always change the roll later. See, these are 5 chaos. Let me see if anyone answers the phone for 5 chaos. Ideally, you could buy in bulk from TFT, and it's around 20 chaos a piece. If you buy in bulk, you don't have to do this, but if you just want one, this is fine. Now, you don't want any that are... see, this is perfect. You don't want any that are fractured, right? Or corrupted, obviously. So no fractured or corrupted. So here's a chest for 5. Perfect. Eye level 86. Unidentified. We'll take that. Thank you. Now let's make our first base, right? Identify it. Requires a wisdom scroll. Hold on. Put it in here. Right. Identify that. Okay. Scour it. Now, what I want from this chest is I want to roll flat armor and evasion T1. Right? And then you just hit it with alterations. Now, the other way to do this, here's flat armor and evasion T1 right there. Immediately, right? So the other way to do this is you fill up an entire tab. For example, like we go over here, and you just fill up this entire tab with chaos lamellars. Like I have one right here already. You fill it up, and then you'll just go over each one and just alteration them with a regex that you'll put it here in the bottom. And then that'll light up if you hit the right T1 roll. But let's go back to our piece. So we're done, right? Now what we need to do is we need to isolate this prefix by itself. So we're going to use eldritch currency. I have one greater ichor here. I'll hit it with that. And then I'll hit it with a lesser. I need to go get a annulment. Hold on. I'm on controller, so I know. I need an annulment orb. Eldritch annulment. These guys are 40 now, so we'll take one. Well, let's go get two. We need two, so we might need more. But this is just to make, just to show you how to isolate it right now. Right? Now we isolate. Here's our first piece. This piece is ready, right? This is going to be what we're going to recomp. Now we got to go get our next piece, which is the +1 Spectre piece. So +1 Spectre, right? If you look up, there's a specific way to do this. So we look up Spectre, put up 1. We'll get rid of the item level, right? And we get rid of the tier. Now we'll search just to see what's available. Oops. Hold on, we got to put body armor. So body armors, hit search. So 20C, right? The thing that you want is you want to make sure you only have 1 prefix if possible, 2 at most. 3 is kind of a gamble, waste a lot. So what we do, right? You want to put in prefixes. Oops, can't spell. So you put in prefix modifier maximum. Let's go see if we put in 1, because then it makes it easy. 150, so 1 prefix. All you gotta do is split this, and then you'll be good. See, so there's 1 for 150. What about 2? 100C. But then we would have to split it and then annul. Get a lucky annul. Let's start off with the first one first. Let's get this guy, and then we'll split it. Because there's 3 suffixes. So we'll get this guy. Hopefully he answers the phone. If he doesn't, we'll do a double. Oh, he does. Okay, cool. So because there's 3 suffixes on here, we're gonna run a split. +1 Spectre. Make sure. 1 prefix. Okay, good, perfect. Also remember, not corrupted and not fractured. You don't want to get corrupted or fractured. So this is perfect, right? We have a different base, dex int. Now we need to get a spider. Fennable plague arachnid. Take off these bases. Right, 30 chaos. Let's see who gets it. Okay. We'll take our spider, and then we'll split it. The thing with splitting is I only split if there's a lot of suffixes. If I'm trying to save time. But splitting always saves the most. Okay, we get our plague arachnid. Right, take that. Now we go to the menagerie. So to use the arachnid, you'll go in here. It's in my inventory. You'll just use it, add it to menagerie, hit yes. Now I hope I have enough yellow monsters. Okay, so we'll run this in here. We'll put in this chest. Look for split. Select the first one. And then you'll craft. We'll do this little fight. Once the fight is over, it'll split. There's 1 item on the ground and 1 in the altar. The 1 in the altar is split. Nice. So it's perfect. We split with, we got the prefix on it, and then we were lucky enough to just get the 1 suffix instead of the 2 suffixes. So let's pick up the one on the ground. So this is the one on the ground that I picked up, right? It's got 2 suffixes on it. If our prefix went with the 2 suffixes, we would have to use 2 annulment orbs to get rid of it and to isolate the +1 number of maximum specters by itself, right? So let's head back. We're gonna go back here to our hideout. And then we're gonna do the same thing for removing the suffixes to this chest piece. Hopefully we get it in one shot. If not, that's fine. We're gonna watch the showcase. Oops. It'll be nice to get it in one try. All right, so greater, lesser, annulment orb. Get rid of that dexterity. Perfect. Now we're ready to rock, right? Take that piece to the recombinator now. We'll put in our chaos lamellar, right, with our T1, and then our split item with our T1. So there's a dust cost, 109. Pretty good dust cost, right? So like the game plan, like what we showed, if it stays on this body piece, we'll have +1 number of maximum specters. If it goes to this body piece, we'll have a 1 in 3 shot, right? You want to hit this, disable unpredictable recombination, get a 100% chance of 100% chance of success, and then this is the cost. So hit recombine, and hopefully we get lucky. Nice, there you go. Well, actually, no. No, so not nice. What we got is +1 to number of maximum specters, right? So we got option 2. We get to go again, but we might fail. There's a chance that we're going to lose our expensive mod. Okay, so we're going to go again. I made another one. So this is the situation we don't want to have, right? We don't want to have the same base type, but then we failed that other one, so it went to our Chaos Lamellar. So I made another one real quick. I had one in my stash. I just scoured it and Alteration orbed it. And then we have another T1, right? So same base chance for success. Hopefully we get it. And if not, we'll just watch the showcase. Nice. So we got it, right? 2 tries. 2 tries, and we have our full T1 flat and T1 maximum number of specters. So from here, right? We'll throw this in here. And well, actually first, before we throw that in here, what we'll do is we're going to craft on a prefix for flat armor and evasion percentage. Where is it? Hybrid armor and evasion. Why am I not seeing it? Increase evasion. Oh wait, it's because this is not in here. Duh. Okay. Increase armor and evasion. This guy. So we'll try to get 74%. All right, keep rolling it. 72, 72, 73. We'll just take 73 for now. All right, so we have all of our suffixes filled. Now what we're gonna do is, so since there's no prefixes, we're gonna slam one. We got cold rest. That's not bad. Regenerate life. That we don't want. We don't want regenerate life. So that life regeneration, that sucks. The cold res is not bad. We'll try to get rid of the life regen. We didn't get rid of the life regen. Okay, start over. Lightning res. Fire res. Life regen. Right? I don't want life regen, but this is basically what you would do. Now that it's all full, hit it with the Chaos Orb. Ooh, it got rid of the 2 resistances, but kept the life regen. So we'll get rid of the life regen. Alright, hit it again. Stun block recovery. See, at this point, this is what you would do. Right? You'd use currency to try to get what you want. Either an annulment to get rid of the line. See, cold res. And essentially, this is what you would do. Okay, let's just use this. What if we get something good? Lightning res. See, so the Chaos Orb, what it does is it won't always just reroll all the mods. Sometimes it'll just do 1, it'll do 2. So you need a combination of Exalted Orbs and Annulment Orbs. And to make my chest with this one, I did something similar. I got the chest piece within like 3 tries. And it took me about 7 divines worth of eldritch currency and exalted orbs to roll, you know, just kind of mid-tier spell suppression damage, and then another mid-tier physical damage. I have to get rid of this regenerate life per second. So that's something that I'll eventually do. What's the roll here? 821 is my roll. The roll here is less, so I should just mess with my chess piece. But yeah, so that's the lesson. That's basically how you make a +1 chess piece. I'll get more currency. I'm like in the middle of flipping some currency, and then I'll re-roll this and I'll sell it or something like that. See, like if you see this roll 758, it's kind of low. We could hit it with a sacred orb. I think I only have one. Try to get a new base number value. 793. So you just keep hitting it with sacred orbs until you got something good. But yeah, enjoy the showcase. I'm gonna upload a showcase to show you how we made one that I sold. All right. So I hope you guys liked the video or the example. It just goes to show you that you don't have to pay 70 divines for like a chess piece like this. You could easily make something, if you're lucky with the suffixes, within 5 divines. Right. The one I made in this showcase, I made within 5 divines, and then I sold it for right around 20. Pretty cheap, especially considering the next one's up or like in the 70s or something. But I just wanted to offload it and get rid of it. So you could easily do this yourself. So here's another showcase of me making a chess piece. So these are the base types that I bought. All right, I used 4 base types. I had to get 4 + 1 number of maximum specters. You see, this one costs 1 divine. This one costs 150. This one also costs 150. And this one costs 10 C. But if you look at them too, these ones have 2 prefixes. So maximum mana and this one also has 2 prefixes. This one also has 2 prefixes. I think this one also had 2 prefixes. So whenever they have 2 prefixes, you have to use a regular annulment orb after you split it to get rid of, to isolate the +1 maximum number of Spectre mod. It's kind of scary, but it's better than paying 7 divines for an isolated prefix. So here we go. This is annulling, right? After you split, you're gonna have 2 prefixes, and you have to use a regular annulment orb to isolate the number of Spectres mod. And it doesn't always work out, right? See, that one I lost. It's gone. Here's round 2. Trying again. We get it. So now we move on to recombining. I bought this Conquest Laminar. I've been saying Chaos Laminar the whole video, but this Conquest Laminar, I bought it from a player, another crafter, just off of trade. I paid 15C and he gave me 8 pieces. So you'll run into that. You'll run into really nice people who will give you extra mats. So this is the first recom. See what happens. So we get the second base type, but we get to keep the expensive mod. Right? First recom attempt. So we get to go again. I just throw another Conquest Laminar at it. But if you look at the dust price, it's 137,000. So we get the option that we don't really want, right? Because now that this +1 number of specters is on our base type, we have a chance of losing the expensive mod. So here we go. Now I'm gonna throw another Conquest Laminar on it, and hopefully we get A + B. And if you look at it, the dust cost is a little bit more. It's more than 109. So here we're gonna hit this. Anytime. Come on. Okay, so we hit it. And we end up losing the expensive mod. So this is what we kind of not want to avoid, because then we have to go through another 50-50 annulment session. Right, so here you go. I make this other chess piece, right? I annul it, split it, do the things I got to do to isolate the mod to try to hit it again. So we'll hit it again. I lost count of how many attempts that was. Right? We keep the mod. We keep the mod at least, so we get to go again. We'll hit it. Same story, right? We keep the +1 number of specters on our mod, but we lose the T1 hybrid. It's kind of unfortunate. So now we're in danger again. We have to do this. Same base types, and we're in danger of losing our +1 specter mod. And then we lose it. Right? So it's like, how many attempts is that? I think that's like 5 or 6 attempts maybe. But it's not as expensive as you would think. All right, so here we go. I isolate this one and I make another split to try to hit it. We'll hit this. Again. Oh, actually, we keep the second base type, so we get to go again. We keep +1 number of specters and we're on the strength base. So that's okay. So then I'll just throw another Conquest Laminar at it. And hopefully we get it. Nope. Instead, we get that scenario with +1 Spectres on our Conquest Lamellar. Now, the entire cost of everything when I made the armor fully and I sold it was only 5 divines. Right, so we're still under our budget, like a really decent budget. So I'll throw in another Conquest Lamellar with +1 number of Spectres with the T1 armor evasion hybrid. Right, it's the suspense. It's like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Finally get it. I don't know how many attempts that was, but we finally got it. Right, so T1, or our number of Spectres with T1 hybrid and evasion percentage. So then we move on to the crafting board. So what we're doing here is I'm adding in another prefix to block all the prefixes. So when I slam exalts, it's only suffixes. Kind of a crucial step. All right, this is where I noticed that you can't have flat armor and evasion together if it's crafted. So we're going to use 315 armor, right? It's close to 320. And then we're moving into slamming exalts, which is what we did earlier. But with this, we just hit it. You get regenerate life. Regenerate life kind of sucks. Okay, we move into slamming exalts. So boom, I hit regenerate life. Regenerate life it's not good. And that kind of sucks because I don't want that, so I can get the life mastery. So your options are to annul it. You can annul that right away, and then you could start over, and then you can hit it with an exalt. You want to save your chaos orbs for when there's multiple ones that you want to get rid of. Because the chaos eldritch currency costs 50 chaos, I believe, and this is 40. So you want to use the chaos ones whenever there's multiples that you want to get rid of. Here you go. So I'm exalting right now. We get 7 physical damage reduction. That's pretty good. 7% off of that. Right, and then I believe I exalted one more time. Yeah, we're exalting it one more time. And then I think we get a resistance. Yeah, 41 cold resist. So this is really nice, right? 7% physical damage reduction, a cold resist. You could probably sell it like this for an outrageous amount with an open suffix and an open prefix. But instead, we're going to say no. We're going to say no. We're going to hit it with an exalt. And what do we get? 1, 2, 3, bang. Wait, the suspense. Oh my god, 65.2 regenerate life per second. So that kind of brings down the value a lot. So, but anyway, so that's the armor that we crafted, and then look at these prices, right? If you look up these armors, this one's pretty good. It's 80 divines, but it's 2 tier 1s. 2 tier 1s. These are both tier 1s. The ones that we had to craft armor and evasion on it, which is still not bad. It still puts it around like 2,700 armor, so it's 400 less armor, quite a bit less evasion, but that's not too bad. This one's with 7 physical damage reduction, or 8 physical damage reduction. The one that rolled 7%. It rolled 7% and 40% cold resist with the life regen. If it wasn't for the life regen, it would probably be worth a decent amount. But the big takeaway is we made that one in that showcase that I just did. I calculated it out. I made it for 5 divines. It was 4.7 divines total. So conservatively, we can make it for 5 divines versus paying 80 divines. Don't ever pay 80 divines, especially if it's like, you could, with 80 divines, you could make like, I don't know, 8 of these at least. You could make 8 of them with really good suffix modifiers. I mean, another way to make money is you make 2 good T1s, and then you throw a fracturing orb, and if you hit maximum number of specters, that's awesome. Or you hit like, you recombine with 8% physical damage reduction. So that way you have 2 T1 mods that if the fracturing orb hits, it becomes a valuable base. That's another way of like making currency. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. Try it out. I encourage you to try crafting. Crafting in this game is really enjoyable compared to PoE 2. And then I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Bye.